It's definitely going to be something that that all of us are going to have to get used to.
It's the first day of class for many colleges and universities in the state. We are taking a closer look at what is being done to keep kids safe.
Fans is what makes everything go around here in Speedway.
The town of Speedway is racing to raise tens of thousands of dollars expected to be lost due to no fans at Sunday's race. The effort that is bringing the town together.
And he may not have won the Indy 500, but he made a very impressive showing as this year's Rookie of the Year. Dave First sits down with Patricio Award coming up.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5. Streaming now.
Now at 5, first day of classes in the books for many college students in our area. Today marked the first day back at it. Those classes, though, look and feel quite different this time around due to the pandemic. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. Students have already moved in on campus at Butler, IU, and Purdue. WRTV's Megan Sanctorum is taking a look at how universities are starting the year and what students are saying about it.
Colleges all across the state are working to keep students safe as they start the school year. Here at Butler, you won't find students making their way from class to class as the university makes a last-minute decision to start the year virtually. The classrooms are empty and students' laptops are out. Undergrads here just learned yesterday they'd be starting their first 2 weeks of school online.
I didn't really know how to react. I mean, I can't really control anything. I was kind of shocked.
I'm a little scared, to be honest, because I don't really know what's going to happen.
I wasn't expecting it to happen before classes even started, and I was really upset, actually, since I'm a dance major, so we weren't allowed to go into the studios at all.
University leaders saying they made the decision due to a lack of compliance from students in following COVID-19 safety guidelines.
I would say most people have been complying with the coronavirus, mandates that the school has put on. But we do have a few, bad eggs, bad apples that have been, maybe not following the protocols.
And leaders want to make sure they do not get to the point where they have to have a total shutdown.
I've seen both extremes of people being very careful and wearing masks and social distancing, but I've also seen people in groups not wearing masks at all.
Up at Purdue, in-person classes started today, but with strict guidelines.
You would never sit here and think, well, I'm wearing a mask in a chemistry class, having to be so far away from everyone, and you do feel the distance, even though there's 50,000 kids here on campus. You feel the distance.
We even saw one class happening outside, tables set up with dividers and hand sanitizer. In-person classes are also happening at IU in Bloomington. The school plans to randomly test up to 12,000 students, faculty, and staff each week, hoping to catch a campus outbreak before it starts. Back at Butler, many students saying they're just happy to be on campus, and they're looking forward to getting into the classroom.
I'm just happy to be here. It would have kind of sucked to miss out on your first semester of college and not have a college experience at all.
It's very exciting, and it's a very different times that we're living in, so just to be able to say, hey, I lived through that and I was able to overcome this and I did this and that, I think that's a really cool experience.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, WRTV.
And administrators at all 3 schools are warning students about taking part in large gatherings. Those who don't could face disciplinary action, including suspension or expulsion.
Now to today's statewide coronavirus numbers that dictate the decisions made by university professors and state leaders. 688 more Hoosiers have tested positive for coronavirus. Those results recorded between July 28th and yesterday. The overall positivity rate has declined slightly to 8.7%. Overall, more than 87,500 people have tested positive. Another 5 Hoosiers have died from COVID-19, those deaths occurring on Saturday and on Sunday. The statewide total now standing at 3,008.
And there's a grassroots effort gaining traction as more people learn just how much the town of Speedway was impacted by yesterday's fanless Indy 500. WRTV's Troy Washington shows us how it's going and why they still need to raise the funds.
IMS and all of the wonderful folks over there, the drivers, everybody associated with IndyCar was really disheartened when we weren't able to have fans in the stands. Fans is what makes everything go around here in Speedway.
Without their biggest fundraiser of the year, the golf tournament held the Thursday before the big race usually brings in the big bucks for the nonprofits who rely on that money throughout the year.
We're really seeking a broader audience as well. The Indy 500 gives us access to race fans from all over the world, and all of their contributions during race day typically help us out as a small community.
Without that help, Speedway organizations are about $272,000 in the hole. Last week, WRTV told you about the problem. Today, we're telling you about how the town of Speedway and the Exchange Club is working together to solve it.
We're a town of only 12,000 people, and so we're having to push a grassroots campaign here now to try to spread the word.
They've started this GoFundMe to reach beyond their town. The Exchange Club of Speedway is hoping the effort catches on to keep them from cutting back on their contributions.
We give back to other organizations. We've given over $1.2 million to the Children's Bureau here in Indianapolis over the last 20 or 30 years, and that impacts our ability to do that this year. We give back scholarships to all of the local schools, and again, that's going to impact our ability to do that. So we're just seeking new alternative ways, working in conjunction with the town to try to make that happen this year. Even organizations like the Speedway Trails Association is going to have to make operational decisions on how they're able to spend their money this year more wisely.
The town believes they'll make up the difference as long as the word spreads and the grassroots effort keeps picking up steam. Working for you in Speedway, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Find out how you can take part in this effort when you read this story on WRTV.com.
The 104th running of the Indianapolis 500 ended under caution, with Takuma Sato taking the checkered flag to become the two-time winner of the greatest spectacle in racing. And this morning, less than 24 hours after that victorious moment, he was back at the track to take part in more special moments unique only to the winner. The Sato smile was front and center for all the winner's photos, many solo shots with his winning car and the coveted Borg Warner trophy, which will now bear his likeness 2 times, and many photos with his team. The wreath, the winner's bottle of milk, all part of it as well. Dave first will have much more with Takuma Sato tonight on the news at 6. But first, Dave has a one-on-one chat with this year's Rookie of the Year, 21-year-old Patricio O'Ward, who started 15th and finished 6th for the Arrow McLaren SP.
104th running of the Indy 500's in the books. You're looking at the Rookie of the Year, which is prestigious because there's a long list of very talented drivers that have won this award. Pato O'Ward gets it for this year. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, man. I think we had a very solid race yesterday. Yeah. Obviously, this place only means one thing, and that's drinking milk and and the victory and putting your face on that trophy. But I think for a first try, we made no mistakes. You know, the number 5, our McLaren SP Chevrolet, was absolute mint in the pit stops.
It's crazy when you think about it, though. Didn't qualify for the race last year, and now here you are, Rookie of the Year. You were up front. What's it like when you're up front at the Indianapolis 500?
It's cool, man. I feel like we've missed the fans.
Yeah.
It felt lonely out there. Yeah. I had never really I've never experienced a race with 350,000 people in the stands. Mm-hmm. But I know other drivers have, and they have expressed how different it felt and how different everything was. And honestly, when, you know, for example, when we started the year with no fans, we went to Road America with fans. Mm-hmm. The difference of like life and energy and atmosphere, everything is so different. It's so much better with people here. But I know that IndyCar and you know, together with Roger Penske and everybody that made this really tough decision, it was the correct one. It's so important, you know, the health of everybody, but we're excited to see them here next year for sure.
The countdown is on the next year. Pato O'Ward's got a doubleheader in St. Louis this coming weekend. Best of luck there. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
And what a day it was yesterday. Sun-filled day. It was warm. Any thunderstorms stayed well away from 16th and Georgetown, and once again, it's quiet there right now as you look from the pagoda at some building cumulus clouds. They have cooled areas But look at this, 95. Lafayette, the warmest in central Indiana today. Indianapolis, for the first time in 27 days, made it above 90 degrees. I'll show you where a couple of thunderstorms are in 1 second. Temperature in Greenwood is 87, 89 in Muncie. I point those out because you can see the others all at 90 degrees. It feels like 103 in Greencastle. The humidity is with us for the next several days, and the temperature will continue to go up, so that combination will make it feel more like 95 to 100 at times. From Richmond southwest to just south of Cambridge City, there was a thunderstorm that flared up. That's what's left of that. Then you can see from the south side of Indy toward Greenwood, where you've got the clouds and some showers along I-65. Temperatures a little cooler. A downpour in central Clay County and then to the west of Spencer. Through the evening, any isolated showers and thunderstorms will fade away, especially once the sun sets. It will be a warm night. We've got an interesting week ahead because there's a lot going on, from the tropics influencing our weather to big changes elsewhere coming up.
And now to Democracy 2020 and the race for president. After last week's Democratic National Convention, it's the Republicans' turn this week, and the delegates wasted no time. President Trump has already officially received the votes needed to secure the Republican nomination in his bid for a second term in office. ABC's Andrew Dimberg reports from Washington.
It's day one of the Republican National Convention, with President Trump formally receiving the GOP nomination to head the Republican ticket for a second term in November.
Donald J. Trump for the President of the United States.
The theme of the RNC's opening night, honoring the great American story. The president himself is expected to be a part of the convention every night and made a surprise appearance at the convention kickoff. Facing a fierce re-election bid, and while promising an optimistic convention, in his opening remarks, President Trump wasting little time attacking his opponents and fueling worries about mail-in voting.
And it's not fair, and it's not right, and it's not going to be possible to tabulate, in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
The president also defending his first term in office, touting his economic policies before the pandemic, hoping that will appeal to voters.
Before the plague came in from China, that's where we were going. We were going in a direction like we had never seen, the most successful economy in the history of our country.
As the coronavirus reshapes the 2020 election, Trump promising the pandemic will get under control, pointing to treatments and vaccines on the horizon.
Yesterday, convalescent plasma, you saw remdesivir. You'll soon see vaccines pouring out.
Unlike the mostly digital Democratic convention last week, the RNC is different, not just in party, but presentation. Republicans kicking off their big event with a mix of in-person and virtual events, with delegates gathering in Charlotte, North Carolina, many not wearing masks. Those delegates also officially renominating Mike Pence for vice president.
I heard the other day that democracy is on the ballot, but I think we all know the economy is on the ballot.
And while the Republicans look to use the week to fire up voters in the 2020 race, a major shakeup just hours before the convention. One of the president's longest-serving advisors, Kellyanne Conway, announcing she is leaving the White House at the end of the month. Also on this first day of the convention, more than 24 former Republican members of Congress, including Jeff Flake, going the other way, announcing that they will be voting for Joe Biden in November. Andrew Dimberg, ABC News, Washington.
And the convention runs today through Thursday. Coverage kicks off each night at 7 on ABC News Live, the network's streaming channel. Primetime coverage here on WRTV will begin at 10 each night.
Still ahead on WRTV News, easing one of the challenges created by the pandemic. IPS is feeding kids' minds, but they also want to feed their stomachs when they're learning at home. How parents can access that help and erase one worry. If you feel guilty about drinking multiple cups of coffee a day, you may not feel so bad after you hear about the possible health benefit.
And a few downpours just east of a Greenwood to Franklin line along I-65. We'll talk about the temperature trend and our chances for rain as we go through the week coming up.
It's hard enough for parents to make sure their children are keeping up with their schooling during this time of remote learning. And that's why Indianapolis public schools are making sure kids are still getting nutritious meals at home. IPS is still serving free meals for students during e-learning. We dropped in on this distribution site at George Washington School. The food service team is providing breakfast and lunch to all IPS students at dozens of school parking lots around the district. And for parents, this is a big help and one less thing to worry about.
It's important that we kind of keep a routine, and this gives us a routine. And it also helps us, money-wise also, to be able to come and get a school lunch where you're going to get something nutritious for the child.
Parents can pick up the pre-packaged meals at more than 55 IPS school parking lots between noon and 3 o'clock on Mondays and Wednesdays, and between 9 in the morning and noon on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But there are some guidelines parents need to follow. Students or their parents are only allowed to pick up meals 2 times per week for a total of 5 days worth of meals. For a list of pickup locations and times, check out this story on the WRTV app or at WRTV.com.
And with so much of our focus on coronavirus, it's easy to forget that it's mosquito season, the insects that carry West Nile virus. The State Department of Health is urging you to take precautions when spending time outdoors, as the risk of West Nile increases with more mosquitoes in multiple counties testing positive. No human cases have been detected so far this year, but mosquitoes in 7 counties, Marion, Johnson, Allen, Elkhart, Noble, Kosciuszko, and St. Joseph, have all tested positive for the virus. The health department expects to see increased West Nile activity throughout the state. And mosquitoes love moisture. Kevin, is there rain in the forecast?
Yeah, it's awfully dry now, isn't it? There is some rain, and you'll need to drink plenty of fluids. Temperature today, a little bit of lemonade. Made it to 91 in Indy, but 95 as I showed you in Lafayette. And look, the next 2 days, temperatures will be in the 90s. Our chance for thunderstorms here the next few hours, they'll be isolated. Then I think we'll be dry until we get to Thursday and Friday, the next most likely time for some showers and thunderstorms. Humidity will not drop out of the picture until we get to the weekend. That's nice timing, though. Humidity goes down over the weekend. Until then, we stay very humid, very warm next 2 days. Then we start to see the temperature come down a little bit. It's really as the rain threat increases, more clouds, more thunderstorms, then the temperatures will decrease. There's your high for tomorrow, 93 anticipated in Indianapolis. We hit 91 today. Still hot Wednesday, dry as well. And Thursday, 88 with an increasing chance for thunderstorms. Well, that blew past the first part of what I wanted to show you, but Tropical Storm Laura, which is near Cuba now, will become Hurricane Laura, may reach the Texas-Louisiana coast as a Category 2 hurricane. Right now, the forecast tracks keep the center of that along or south of the Ohio River, but it will bring moisture and an increased chance of rain to the Hoosier State. 90 in Indianapolis right now. Lafayette's cooled down, and 93 is the temperature. 84 in Richmond. You've got nearby rain, that's why. Using Interstate 70, you can see where the showers are. There's a little downpour right over Richmond and the southern portion then of Wayne County. Come toward Indianapolis, south side of Indy, down toward Franklin along I-65. And some other downpours south of Brazil in Clay County, south of I-70 and US 40. Between now and 11, the activity will fade away as the sun angle gets lower and we cool things off. It'll take a while. We never do really cool off tonight. Temperatures will still be in the upper 70s, and our overnight low will stay at 70 degrees. As you look at the forecast, the warmest part of the forecast, the next 3 days. As we get to Thursday and Friday, that's our best opportunity for more widespread showers and thunderstorms. Timing of this may still change because I do think the tropical system will play a role in this, so we'll wait and see. But right now we'll keep a chance for some thunderstorms in early Saturday, but a much better feel as we get to the weekend.
All right, pour me a glass of lemonade too. Thanks, Kevin. Hey, talk about a second chance. Officials in Michigan say a young woman who had been declared dead was discovered still alive at a Detroit funeral home. The fire department in Southfield says first responders spent 30 minutes yesterday trying to revive the 20-year-old woman and determined there was no sign of life. But the funeral home discovered she was breathing after she was transported there. An official with the fire department said the woman had a heart rate of 80 and that no one could believe it when the funeral home made the emergency call. The woman was taken to a hospital. Amazing. What a day for a Zoom outage. It's the first day of class for thousands of college and university students around the country and here in Indiana, not to mention the businesses that have grown to rely on the video conferencing technology to connect with employees and others. Zoom said it began receiving reports of disruptions around 9 this morning. It quickly identified the issues causing the partial outage and was working on a fix. Reports of technical issues came in from across the U.S., with most on the East Coast as well as in Europe. If you are a coffee drinker, listen to this. A new study suggests coffee can help protect you against liver cancer. Scientists in Australia say drinking 2 or 3 cups of coffee per day can reduce a person's chance of getting liver cancer by 38%. 4 more cups of coffee per day could lower the risk by 41%. Researchers achieved their results by creating a formula using liver cancer death statistics and coffee drinking rates from 2016. In that year, more than 1.2 million people died from liver cancer.
Celebrating the women's right to vote, the Indiana girl's artwork chosen to help mark the historic moment in time, as she calls it, the Long March to be Heard. Welcome back. Today, First Lady Melania Trump marked the 100th anniversary of women gaining the right to vote with an art exhibit based on works by students from all 50 states and Washington, D.C. And we will show you how Indiana is represented. The exhibit is called Building the Movement. America's Youth Celebrates 100 Years of Women's Suffrage. The event to unveil the artwork was held outside the gates of the White House this morning. About 30 of the young artists were in attendance today, but the young lady from Indiana was not able to be there. The First Lady praised every student's contribution.
Your artistic creativity, attention to detail, and talent in each piece of artwork embraces the spirit of this milestone event in our nation's history.
The piece of art representing Indiana was done by 12-year-old Caroline Bone, an 8th grader at St. Jude Catholic School in Indianapolis. It's titled The Long March to be Heard. This is Caroline's quote explaining her vision. I drew an American flag with suffragists getting progressively larger to show how the suffrage movement grew in strength because of the protest marches in the country. I included the male and female symbols with the equal sign to show how women were gaining equality. Congratulations, Caroline. And you can get a closer look at Caroline's and all the children's art at womensvote100.org/building the movement. A major safety concern on the MONON Trail. A woman is sharing what happened to her husband, who was biking on the trail in hopes of helping others. That's tonight, all new at 6. And there's a new treatment option for people who are hospitalized with COVID-19. It just received emergency authorization. How people who have already been sick with the virus could help patients recover.